I've never done this before. I made myself not do it. I wanted to do it, and I
I
was like,
bet you did. Yeah.
I'll wait for this live. And so let's go through that, and then let's talk about like the updates that you've learned for sure, because
Let's
that
do it.
I'm really interested in hearing about that. Because and if anybody doesn't understand, having a ProveWorth account is going to be really helpful if you have a free public community. It has to do with. Do you want to go into like what it is to link outside sources with a public school page?
Yeah, absolutely. So I could talk about this for a very long time, so I'll sum it up. But the core premise of ProveWorth is that it is going to be the best and easiest way for you to get more of the kind of members that want to pay you for life. And that's a big, bold promise. And the way that it works essentially is that you, as human beings, you probably had to do a little bit of homework to try and find something that you want to buy. And I asked this in my community recently. I got some very interesting replies from what people are doing. Um, and in the age where research is happening between dozens of different AI tools, Google tools, all sorts of different things, what ProveWorth ultimately will do is be a external third party resource of social proof. So if you've ever looked at a Google review, a Yelp review, a Trustpilot review, um, those are all like external sources that you can use to try to gauge whether or not something is worth buying. And the thesis of ProveWorth was really this doesn't exist for communities, and communities need something very different and unique. And so rather than try to build a review system for everybody, I really wanted to build something that served the builder. So anyway, Jenna, is that what you were looking for?
Yes, I think that's good. If you want to add more into it, you can, because right now I'm just gonna follow through your steps, and so that might be boring for people because I
No,
can't
it's good.
and think at the same time.
You're very good. I'll talk through it while you're doing it, and then
Okay.
I've also got my notes here. So do let me know if there's anything there that you suggest or needs tweaking, or something that we could come back to later because I'm always trying to make everything better. But the current promise of ProveWorth and the future promise of ProveWorth. So currently, what most people are dealing with, and I started a community around this. Uh, Probably about, gosh, it's been a little under 2 months ago, but I actively started talking about it and promoting it on January 1st of this year. And the response has been crazy. Thank you guys all so very much. And gained basically over 400 members in the past month. And the number one thing that I see people struggling with is that they either don't know how to get social proof, or they do and they're just not getting enough of it to make a meaningful difference in actually getting people to join. Because think about it, you guys have probably all joined communities. You're part of this community. You, yeah, community has a cost, right? And this is something to noodle over, but it's something that I think about all the time. And that is when somebody joins a community, it's actually an inconvenient thing for them, right? I know I'm a big believer in the community builder, right? I'm basing my entire life and history and future on all this. But it actually is inconvenient for somebody to join a community. And I'm really curious to hear your thoughts and comments below. If you agree, disagree, like I'm not going to pretend to know everything. So feel free to challenge me on it. I love a good discussion. But to be active, right? To be an engaged member, to take part in the classroom, to do all these things, you're really asking a lot of people. And so ways that you can prove to people that you're worth, all right? Hence the name, prove worth. I thought it was clever, but it's a little bit of a mouthful sometimes. If you could prove you are worth it to people, they will be more likely to engage. And just for you guys that may not know me, to give a little bit of context and history, I helped build a company called Monday.com, which is multi-billion dollar company at this point. And I left earlier in last year to essentially start ProveWorth. And so what we ended up finding was that when we were gathering testimonials and reviews, there were two different processes. But the people that we got testimonials and reviews from ended up upgrading more often or sticking with us for longer periods of time. And also, it was great for the internal teams. Now, I know a lot of community owners are solo operators, right? But the community itself can also really benefit from this experience to share feedback in an unbiased way. But also, it makes a really big difference for people, at least for me, and maybe for you guys. Tell me if you guys deal with this or experience this too, where you really want to make sure that, of course, if I'm going to tell you about ProveWorth, I'm going to really want to show you all of the best results, right? I'm going to show you all my 5-star reviews, and I'm going to show you all the people that are really, really happy. The reason why things like Google reviews and Trustpilot and Yelp and these other tools exist is because in theory, right, they are objective. So it's not like and the irony of this is I do have a ProveWorth page as well, right? But if somebody leaves a negative review and it doesn't show up, like that's my reputation that's going to go on the line. So that's my incentive also. But yeah, that's the way I think about it is based off of history and experience. When you're going and researching something that's going to take time and energy from you because it is an inconvenience to be a part of a community, but you could get so much value for it if you stick to it and do it. Um, you really want to find as many sources of social proof and trust as you can. And given AI and everything that's happening right now, we are in a trust crisis more than ever, now more than ever. And so ProveWorth is a great free way for you to actually go in and create a profile and collect reviews and reply to them. And it costs you absolutely nothing. Um, and yeah, that's the core thesis. Um, and with the fact that all of these community platforms that we know and love, Skool, of course, being one of them. Jennifer says true story. Yeah, thank you. But there's also Circle and Mighty Network. There's all these other platforms, Discord, Luma. None of them have any mechanism for people to be able to establish whether or not they are worth spending time and energy in. And given that community is, again, my view, it is an inconvenient thing when you join a community. Um, you want to make sure that it's worth the time and that you also help people understand that it's worth the time. So even in the instance where maybe you're asking for reviews, right? And people are like, oh, I don't feel ready or I can't do that. That's really good, insightful information for you as a builder that maybe the transformation needs work. Maybe your customer journey needs work, right? You're going to get insights and education from the experience no matter what. And I don't believe in good reviews or bad reviews either. I believe that feedback is feedback. And especially when you receive feedback that maybe you don't like as much, that's just a more powerful way for you to say that you are human and that you can reply to these things and share that and be unafraid to do so. Some of the like I have a ton of examples of this, but I could tell a quick story. Back when I was creating the customer support team for Monday, I had a gentleman who just he was coming on hot. He was very angry. The program wasn't working, the platform wasn't doing what he wanted it to do, and he was just like yelling and screaming. Basically picked up the phone, started screaming. And I just, took it. I was angry too, but I was like, all right, just, gotta calm down. Tried to be respectful. He started swearing and all this other stuff. And I lost my cool a little bit too. And I said, dude, like, don't please don't swear at me. Like, I just picked up the phone. I'm trying to help. Let's work together. You want to get a result. I don't want to be yelled at. Let's do this stuff. And he was like, yeah, gosh, I'm sorry. He's going through a really tough time. He had some family issues, right? It's never about me. I didn't realize that back then. But, when people are coming at you like that, it's never really about you. And so that person ultimately became one of the strongest proponents of what we were doing. And they became a huge fan. And I have seen this time and time again. Your worst critics, in your eyes, in that moment, can become your strongest advocates and allies. So every piece of feedback that you get is like a huge opportunity, not only for you to learn, but for you to, create a better product and experience for your people, and also for them to feel heard and seen in something that they think is an issue, which may be an issue, it may not be an issue. But yeah, long story short, this space I think is one of the most fun spaces to play in that a lot of people just are not paying as much attention to as they should. And with that, the goal is that proveworth.com is really a place to facilitate collecting that social proof and getting not only more members, but the kind of members that you want to have, right? Because if you're just a community and you let everybody in, is that a community or is that just like an open public space? Which those have value too, but you do want to make sure that you have those distinctions as well. And Faith mentions, yes, some owners do have heavy expectations. And there are things that you need to think about when you are setting up communities. But thanks for listening to me ramble on, guys. Jenna, how are things going on your side before I keep going?
Good. I couldn't think of like who it was not for, so I put WAP users. I'll delete it probably. But
You can put whatever you want there.
like I can't think of what I would actually put in the not for area, but I was seeing if it would check mark on here.
Yeah,
Are
one of
these
the
only when you
what's that?
review it? Do these only
You
check?
can
Sorry.
yeah. Basically, they should have checked if you put anything in there. So I'll take a look at that later. That's a good thing to note down. But you can also minimize it up there at the top, or cancel it completely. So that you don't get harassed essentially.
But it's Matthew. We're doing a work business call, okay? Thank you.
Hello, Dominic. Special guest, unintended
Yes.
maybe.
All right. So I really like this. This is fun. I don't know. So I did add a tag, but I guess I didn't hit save. I think that's the thing. Like
Oh, do it real quick and let's see. Let's see if there's an issue.
building. Oh, building.
And for those of you folks who are on ProveWorth or are considering using it, DM me 24/7 on Skool. I don't always reply 24/7, but I will do my best. I'm very determined to make sure that the product is smooth. And yeah, it looks like it worked.
Perfect. Yeah, that's what I did was when I clicked this and then when I didn't have anything else to add, I hit cancel and I forgot to hit the check mark. So that was the problem for that.
Oh,
So it
Dina
was a
says you're
user.
not seeing anything on the screen.
What?
I'm seeing it. Is everybody else seeing the screen share? Just to check real quick, Jenna, while they're on the topic. Yes, Jennifer says. Yes, Megan says. Okay, great. Thank you. Yeah, Dina, you might need to tab around a little bit, or I've also seen that sometimes you have to refresh on a rare occasion. So you might need to come out and come back in. Sorry, there's an issue there. But keep going, Jenna.
One of the things that I think would be really cool is because when I come here to do this, I love the prompts that you had at the top. My mind goes blank. I don't know if other people are like that, but
Yes,
I'm
it
like,
happens all the time.
all right. I look at the edit tags and I'm like, I have no idea what I do.
Yep.
And that's not true, but that's how I feel in the moment.
So one of the things that I've got in alpha right now for pro users, but I'm going to be adding a version of it to the free essentially is it's a AI agent that basically scans the page,
Mhm.
including your reviews, and gives you like marketing insights. What are the best quotes? What are the pain points that people are dealing with? What are the people? Why are they purchasing from you essentially? And so it's too early to even put it in alpha, but I am working on one that's going to be like an onboarding. You just chat with it, and it'll set up your page for you. So work in progress, but that's the vision there.
I should put my I should put that one thing that I got
In
through.
the meantime, maybe on a separate instance, so you could take care of it. But I've also
Mhm.
seen people just plug their about page into ChatGPT and then said, "Hey, I'm making a profile for ProveWorth.com. Help me fill out each of the sections," and it does a pretty good job.
Let's see.
I'm also working on a custom GPT that people can just upload into their Chat GPT that will have all those steps too. But the
Oh,
goal is to
cool.
build it into the platform itself.
That would be awesome. Hold on. Let me tell Dominic to stop running everywhere. Hold on.
You're good. So yeah, guys, that's kind of the core thesis, and uh, the way that things are working right now is that there is this is very fun for me, but it's very challenging technically to rank on Google and do well with that. And so I've been spending probably 4 to 6 hours a day just figuring out how to do all that stuff in the background. And pages are starting to rank on Google naturally. So right now, while it's mostly like a software tool, I am working constantly on the authority of the site and the technical side of things, so that people can continue to get discovered. I am getting members from Google right now, and I know other people are as well. But that is something that it needs a lot of work, but it's a very real future that's coming for all of us, essentially. No. So Jennifer asks, is there a cost to add your community? No. You could do everything that you need to do completely for free. So when you go on to ProveWorth, you could just sign up and add an account. You can collect reviews and you can reply to those reviews and do all of that 100% for free. Anybody is welcome to create a profile. I also would love to have you in the ProveWorth community, but you don't have to join the community if you don't want to. But I like having everybody in the community because as a student of community building, I think there's a lot of value to have all the folks that are using it in a big group so that we can all share and learn together. So yeah, ProveWorth is 100% free to use all the core functionality.
Yeah, right now I'm just going over what it is to have a free one right now too.
Yep. Yeah, and so what looks like, Jenna, what you did is you opened up ChatGPT, you pasted in a couple of things, and it's making some recommendations for you, which is cool. Um, and just a little inside baseball. Those tags, I think it allows up to 10. It'll only show the top few, so it'll keep it nice and clean up at the top when people view the page. But that's also a mechanism right now for search. So when people search for stuff on ProveWorth, those things can pop up. And it ranks you based off of your authority. So basically, like, what is your score? How many reviews do you have? Stuff like that. I'm always working on tweaking that too. So yeah. And Jennifer says, "Oh wow, okay, yeah." We're doing our best to make sure that it's as useful as possible.
Yay! That's a fun green.
Yeah, I did approve you. You are the owner of What is Skool,
Nice.
which means now you are able to collect and reply to reviews. So
Awesome.
anybody can go and make a community on ProveWorth, but only the owner can have control to get reviews, reply to reviews, and edit the content of the page.
Would this be some like until you go and write out a mission or a value statement? Is this somewhere something that you could just put your about page in
So I would put the about page in the community details section.
this area?
Um, yeah, and you can leave every section blank. So the live profile will only show sections that are filled out.
Okay,
Um,
cool.
so yeah, it's not like people are gonna go there and see a bunch of blank stuff. And you know what could be cool, Jenna, is now that you have a URL, you could also, or actually, I could paste it here in the chat if anybody wants to leave a legitimate review.
Nice. That would be cool. So where would I get the profile? Is it because I know that we had talked about saving the profile at one point,
Mhm.
but
So up there at the top, right now, it's got a special parameter there. It looks like edit audience, but you just go click on the URL, copy paste, and where it says what is school at the very end of that, that's your whole URL. So you just don't want the and edit audience.
so this part right here.
Yep. And in your builder dashboard, there's a link that you can copy.
So I just go to dashboard right here.
Yep.
Yes, because you could have more than one school, and then have
Yeah,
multiple.
I have somebody right now who has I think 8 communities on here. So
Nice.
yeah, they've got a few.
And these are the premium features. Ooh, short links.
Yep, exactly. So if you want to, oh, thank you, Jennifer. I'm going to write that down. No, do not apologize for having a tech Q&A background, please. I live for this. So yeah, rip it up. I would rather have a great product than an intact ego. But yes, so yeah, what you're looking at, Jenna, is all the premium stuff, and these are things that users have asked for, that aren't necessary to use the product, but make things a little smoother, a little easier, um, or a little bit nicer looking.
I like that. So instead of having that really like this big long link that was at the top, I could just have one of these direct links.
Exactly right. Yep. And
Nice.
there will never be ads or pay to place on the platform. So this is how we, for those curious, this is how we monetize.
So it's what is school would be that, and then and this is for the profile. What happens if you have multiple ones?
So right now, what you're seeing is like your your ideal short link, and then your secondary if that's not available. So I could tell you what is school is definitely available, but you would want to put two in there just in case the first one is taken.
And then
And what
uh,
are, which is what people are using them for. I can actually post a, if it's okay, I'll post a link in the community to an example that I like.
sweet.
It's a member's profile, and you could see on their profile that they have their reviews in multiple places. I'll put the link in the chat, Jenna, in case you want to open it. But what
Mhm.
these do is when you want to show people that you are what you say you are, you can link them to your profile. And let's say you have a member who left you a really nice comment on a thread saying how great you are. Maybe they joined a live call and they got a great result. Maybe they finished a classroom. You could put the review link there, and that'll take them directly to, hey, what'd you think? Leave us a review. That way, it's one less step that they have to take. And it's also easy links for you to remember because you can just type that out.
So what you sent me was to his about page on school,
Yep.
and
The
we
So if you see his about page, he's actually got ProveWorth on there twice. He's got it on the sidebar on the very right.
reviews.
Yeah, and then he's also got it at the very bottom of his about page. And you'll also see some bigger schools or some more established schools as well that will have links to their own reviews, which is great. That's awesome. The difference there is that there is just not that same layer, right? Which is what we talked about earlier, where if I'm only showing you the reviews that I have control over, I'm going to cherry pick them. And people are not allowed to or not able to hide bad reviews. So that's something that is an important signifier, is that it also says that you're confident enough to put all this stuff publicly, so people know, oh, okay, if there was a bad, quote unquote bad, right? I think all reviews are useful. If there was maybe feedback that was less positive, you could still reply to that, and have that be something there that you can use to establish more trust.
Interesting. So, but you, all right, are you saying that could you dispute one if it happens to be like something
100%.
where, okay, because
Yep, there's a flag
obviously,
button there,
okay,
and you can actually so I've had the first time that was used, was a good flag. So you could flag a review for being bad or good.
so if I
Uh,
click this right now, I could say it's good.
yeah,
Oh, nice. I like that. Because I know that there's going to be people as school just gets bigger, there's going to be people that get banned from schools,
for sure.
and
They're gonna
for
be angry.
good cause too. And they will be usually upset, and that's already like part of the reason why they were getting banned.
Yes.
Um, so you wouldn't
Yeah.
want them to end up destroying your proof worth
Yeah,
profile.
no way that'll happen. The way that it works right now and the plan, and for the foreseeable future is ProveWorth is me and my lovely wife. But we go and read every community that wants to submit, and we also read every review, that wants to get posted, and we approve those.
Nice.
So there is a human in the loop that checks these things. Some people have reached out to me and said, "Hey, I left a review. Where is it?" And as a the longest a review will go without being posted is basically when I sleep, because the first thing I do when I wake up and the last thing I do before I go to bed is I go and check the reviews to make sure there aren't any in the pending queue. So yeah, all of this stuff is kind of verified. A bunch of members I've already reached out to because somebody leaves a review and maybe they have like a strange name or something else, and I just ask them to verify for me that they're members.
Mhm.
And so far there haven't been any issues there, but that's another layer is we have removed reviews before where or that we didn't even post them, because some people would make a community and then try to fill it up with their own reviews.
Um,
So without exposing any of the sauce, there are automated mechanisms and human mechanisms that are preventing malicious behavior, we'll say.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Yeah, a human in the loop is definitely essential nowadays.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, absolutely.
so I am looking at this and I think that this is really cool. The featured by community. Is this one of part of the premium plan?
Yep. So on the $9 tier for the pro, you can get short links. You can pin your community, and do a few more other things inside of there. So that's a way for you to be able to maybe choose to display because the top of the fold right now it's called scroll depth, but most people are looking at that top section the most. I think about 40% of people end up scrolling down on average right now. For some communities, for most communities, it's a little bit higher than that, but on average, it's there. And what that does is that just gives you the ability to kind of highlight that. And when anybody clicks on it in any capacity, they are able to go immediately to that review and to read that review.
Nice. I like
And I messaged the school team about the overlap here. There is like a little bit of a visual error,
right here. Yeah.
but I didn't want to change it because yeah, I liked the format of the copy here, but I'm hoping it'll look a little cleaner in the future.
Part of the polishing, right?
Oh yeah,
Um,
we're all in there.
so just my 2 cents is
Yes,
that your
writing
plan
down.
is too hidden. It's too hidden for me to find.
Yes, that's yes. Go keep going before I say anything else.
I understand why proof worth, and I understand claiming, and I understand reviews. We're gonna have to put a feature request for one fourth link.
I know,
Um,
right?
yeah, I think that because honestly,
Yeah, I'm
this
gonna
is
put that in there in terms of plans.
okay.
But right now, I am kind of pre a bigger launch, and so people are discovering it and buying it, which is great. I'm also working very closely with those people to make sure that the processes and the systems are working well. I've been working on this for a very long time, but I just I like to be known for a good high quality product. And I see a few names in here of people who have sent me really, really valuable feedback about like bugs and things like that. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
haven't we been talking about when did we first start talking about this? I know at least by, like, last year, like, June, July. It may have been sooner than that. Like, you've been almost working on this a year for now, that I've
yes, yes. So the first version of this was basically like a food critic blog where I would go and review communities.
Mhm.
And that was a lot of fun. And the more I talked to people, the more I realized that the most common question was, how do I get more members paying me more? And I had all that experience from Monday, and I kind of put two and two together. And so I decided to turn ProveWorth into an app. Yeah, around July of last year, and been working on it ever since.
That's awesome. And that's, like, I think that's a really good thing to acknowledge too, because I tried to scroll back to find out, like, when did we first start talking about it, and it was, I think, July-ish. Um,
Yep.
you could when did you first announce the ProveWorth community to people?
I invited about 10 to 15 people in early December. That was when I soft launched the first version of the app. And by January 1st, I felt like, okay, this is ready for a few more people. And some amazing people here listening to this call um, went a little crazy. And so in January, we went from 30 people using ProveWorth to, as of today, I think we're at 483.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Um,
it's been pretty crazy.
Sharon,
Oh,
honestly, I'm not 100% sure. There's been some people having different issues, and I think it has to do with permissions that were given when you're on here. Um, I'm trying to remember what it looks like from a member's side. Let's
so
see.
if you're on Chrome, there is a like right next to the URL on the very left side, there's a little button there that says what this page is accessing. And you might want to check that it's the camera and well, not the camera because you guys won't be on camera, but it's the microphone and the speakers. On mobile as well, when you join, every time it will ask you, "Hey, do you want to use your camera? Do you want to use your speakers?" So that might be another thing. But I realize I'm talking to him and he can't hear anything.
Yeah.
uh,
And it looks like they may have already left,
oh,
which
okay.
is okay. But yeah, fun
Oops.
fact, as a mod, you can accidentally turn on your camera, turn on your audio, and be on screen for school news. Scariest thing ever, we can record it on accident. So I'm learning more things about the webinar features and that anxiety when it's on school news and you're like, "No, I don't wanna be on camera." It's
Yeah,
great.
that's as somebody foraying into the world of trying to build technology, it's simultaneously the best thing ever and also the scariest, most terrifying thing because it's just like, yeah, you can do crazy things.
So part of why I think that, like, if you're trying to leverage a free school community that you're doing publicly, I think it's good to like link to outside sources, which would be ProveWorth. Um, but I, especially if someone's going to be searching like your reviews, like if you get a review, like Clues did, I would almost make a on your public school. I would say we got a fantastic review by Edgar Brincat, and then I would end up linking to my ProveWorth profile so that people could come find it and maybe like take a screenshot of it. So like take the full review and
Yeah,
then
so what I'm actually seeing now, and it's always a fun surprise when I get to see it. People I have I think when you click share, there's a feature there that is not working too great, but I'm working on because the dream would be that it just happens, automatically and it works great. But what people are doing is they're screenshotting their reviews, they're putting them into Canva, and they're like highlighting a quote that they really like, and they're just publishing that under a quick article on LinkedIn or Instagram or whatever.
Mhm.
So I'm starting to see more of those as well.
That would be even better now that I'm thinking about it, as if I had a ProveWorth thing and that so I took the screenshot, I put the post. I decide I'm gonna go put it on Instagram first. just an
Yep.
example, or YouTube, because for some people that don't know, on YouTube you can come and put posts in the post area. I haven't done that yet because I want to be consistent when I start, but I could even put a ProveWorth uh, review on here. Then I
Yes.
could
Yep.
take the post from YouTube, put it in my, and let people know, like, hey, we got another review, and like talk about it, and even tag the member in the post, and then put the YouTube post into the post of the free community. I said
Yep.
post a lot of times right there.
You're good. You could test it out. I've nobody's noticed it yet, but if you go and click on share on any ProveWorth review, there's a little button there that will let you copy as an image, and it's really janky. It does not look good at all. But I'm taking the Sam Ovens route, and I'm kind of like adding things and taking them away just to see kind of like what people use it for. Since the first month, basically in January, we had 2,083 people come to the website, which was really cool. Um, yeah, see, it's kind of terrible.
Hey, it's pretty cool though for somebody that does not have any um tech, or doesn't have the time to learn Canva, or
Yeah, that's the dream.
feels
That's the dream.
like, for me, I could see if my dad was telling me, "Hey, I want to get my reviews, and can you help me with Canva?" And I'm like, "No, not again. Not right now, or I'm busy. Just go hit copy image." This would do it. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yep. Exactly. So I'm working on that. That's a little bit lower priority, but it's something I would love to have because I just think it'd be nice and easy to be able to use. Todd, let me know if I answered your question right in the chat. But yes, when you're an approved community owner, which it sounds like you already are and should be, I could check and see. But you should be able to edit the page, and there should be a pencil icon there. So whenever you need to make changes, if you're not seeing that, definitely let me know so I could take a look. But should be there.
Jennifer
Uh,
is saying, I want to address something real quick.
oh yeah,
You
yeah,
said, I'm having the hardest time to convince myself being on camera and on the internet webs for Eva. Gen X problems. I don't ever get on camera, so you don't have to.
yep,
If you want to, I mean, there are lots of benefits to it, and yes, I've leveraged my knowledge to help me, but it is a lot more work, and I won't lie
yep.
about
Where
that.
there's
It
a
is.
where there's a will, there's a way.
Mhm. I'm trying to make sure that I have, like, both screens, and I'm like, "Ah!" Um,
Yeah. So Faith asked a quick question: is this only for free communities? So um, I'm actually even being asked about community gardens. Somebody reached out. Actually, a couple people have reached out. It must be ranking on Google or something. Um, but as far as who's a right fit for the platform, my initial the two groups that I've been kind of spending the most time on is folks who have school communities and also folks who have Luma local communities. So that's one thing. Also, Jenna, yeah, I know you like the banner, but if you want to, you can X out of that just as a heads up.
I
Um,
like green.
you could keep it. Yeah, no worries. But yeah, there also is structured data on the page that tells Google and AI tools not only like what's a review and that this is a trusted organization around reviews, but also where people are located if they choose to select that, and where communities are located if they choose to add that. Yeah, there's a lot of things that could be added in there, but yeah, the goal is that if you are running any kind of community, that you are able to go in and have a profile. I ran into a guy at a birthday party. He runs a philosophy community here in Austin, Texas, and he just made his proof worth. And it's only he's never heard of school, none of this stuff. But he just has a group for people who like to talk philosophy in Austin. I was like, you should make a proof worth profile. And he's working on creating it right now. So
Is this claimed by him yet or no?
yes.
Okay. So how does is this just
But there's a claimed badge actually you could check and see.
okay.
There's certified badge and a claimed badge. And if you create the profile and get approved as an owner, um, then you are, uh,
So
yeah,
claimed.
you yeah, you're able to claim it, and that gives you more control over the page.
Nice. So question,
Yes.
when we come to paid, now that I'm looking, how why is he on the fifth page? Or do you how do you rank in here if you have details that you would want to share with somebody?
Yeah, absolutely. So the way that ranking works right now is that it's based off of it's weighted more heavily for review count, and then it's weighted by score. So as you can see, a lot of people right now, since the platform is still growing, have like, a lot of scores. And it also depends on whether or not you've taken the quiz. So if you've taken the Find Your Match quiz, that will also change the rankings that you have. But this is something that is it's an ongoing thing for me to adjust. So I'm definitely looking to take feedback on the algorithm. But yeah, it needs a lot of work, but the goal of it is that in terms of ranking, that's how those two initially work. So right now you could sort by newest, you could sort by top rated and most reviewed. And those things will be weighted that way. And if you see changes on that, um, let me know. But I there are a few things right now that need to be improved on discovery for Proofworth. So like I'm following in school's footsteps that I got some work to do there. Um, but it turns out formulas and algorithms and stuff is a little bit tough. So I'm taking it one step at a time.
You know what I'm gonna do? I am
Thanks, Jenna. We can see your chat, by the way. I don't know if that's intentional.
it's fine.
Okay. But yeah, as you can see, I made the schoolers community and it's got reviews on there, but it is not claimed. It is not claimed as of right now.
I thought that would be fun.
That is funny. That is funny.
Like, you need to claim schoolers, come on. All right. So, I could go through the whole process of writing a review, but if I'm writing a review for schoolers, I kind of want to think through it before
That's
I write
fair.
it.
That's fair. Yeah. No
Um,
worries.
I do have a question though that brought up something for me. Can you go back and edit or add something to your past review?
Yes. So if you want to like show the review experience, you don't have to post it. Um, but yeah, the way it works is that there's the first page, which is you give it the score. Um, okay, Todd. Yeah, I'll take a look at that in just a second. We'll get you sorted there. Thanks for bringing that up. But there's this page, which kind of allows you to put everything here that you want, and then after you submit this, there is a way that you can add even more context. So you can say like, what was it like before? What was it like after you joined? Are there screenshots? Do you want to leave a video? Like there's more things, but to make it so that it's easiest to capture the review, we just have it be these two pages. And then after the fact, let's say you leave a review and maybe they didn't do so good and you want to change the score. You can always click edit and change the review. Let's say you also maybe left a negative review or something that was not as positive, and they've done a good job to help you. You can go back and change and say, okay, instead of 3 stars, it's going to be 4 or 5. So that functionality is definitely there. And Todd, I don't think I can troubleshoot this effectively while we're on this call, but I will speak to you and see if I can replicate what's going out there. Um, Feel free if you're not already in. Let me see. Yeah, perfect. I'll message you on ProveWorth to get this sorted. But yeah, the review process is built out that way for that reason. Let's see. All right, Todd. I'm just gonna pull that up so I don't forget. I'll give you a ring right after this one. See if we can get you sorted here. Um, Jenna, actually, while you're here, or maybe if you want to open another tab and maybe we could show how to
Mhm.
edit the profile. Oh, I think Todd, you're in the builder dashboard. Maybe that's the. I should add some functionality for editing your profile in the builder dashboard. Now that I think about it.
What would I
Um,
put here for the date of experience? Because this is just leave it blank because it's optional.
yeah, you could leave it blank if you want. Some people do like project communities. So like if or 30-day challenges or something like that. So that's something to say, hey, I did this, I did the January 2026, if they wanna put that in there. So now that you have submitted the review, as you see here, you can leave a whole bunch of other things if you so choose. But your review is in my queue, which I saw what you wrote and I agree. So I'm gonna go and post it and you'll be able to see your review on the page. And if Schoolers was claimed, then the owner would then get a nice little email saying, "Hey, you got a review. Come check
Oh,
it out and
cool.
reply."
Not community profile. Um, You guys are gonna see my janky way of finding myself.
You have enough comments?
Like, let me just go find wherever I've commented.
Yeah, Todd. So what you would do is click view to access the page, and you can edit on the page itself. But you raise a good point. I should make an edit button in that hamburger menu as well. So I'm just writing that down for myself.
This is super cool. Review ProveWorth and then become a verified reviewer. This is cool. So you just have to complete your profile to get the verified reviewer.
Yes. So that's basically me being able to go in and see that you're a real person, and that you're actually a part of the community that you said you're a part of. And you can get a verified reviewer. Also, one of the things on the growth tier, which is the $9 plan, you could become a responsive owner. That's a special little badge there. As the platform continues to grow, there will be more mechanisms for people to kind of like signify that their community is good. And one of the biggest signals that you can have out there is that you reply to your reviews. So that's a nice little badge there that will help signify that people are trustworthy. And I'm thinking about adding that even into um, like a way to filter the communities, right? Like active owner or something like that, for people that want a more of an intimate experience.
I should change it. I don't know if anybody else has noticed, but us moderators have been having fun with our the strongest moderator. It started with Tristram, so he's the strongest moderator because he does fitness stuff. He's the healthiest moderator because he does like sleep and all of that. He's the tallest. He's like the tallest. And then we came up with the most observant moderator because we joke
I
about
like
how
it.
I'm like the FBI, but we've
You do know everything. You're a little scary like that.
the funny thing, as soon as I changed it, we realized that it also could stand for the mom at Schoolers.
There you go. Oh, nice. Perfect. I
Now
I, I think that's absolutely perfect.
gotta keep it forever. But and
Yeah.
Elaine is getting married. Really like her.
Oh, congrats to her. Karen, let me know which box that is. I've been catching those left and right. I thought I got most of them fixed, but if there's ever an issue with pasting information into a text box somewhere, let me know. I can squash that one pretty quick. Meet the team. Okay, I'm writing that
Yes.
down.
Uh, I really like these. And so this would be how you would highlight a review.
Yep, exactly right.
Hold on.
I'll get that fixed, Karen. Sorry about that. But thank you for letting me know and being ever vigilant.
So like if somebody made their ProveWorth profile, because like this is what I'm thinking through. Now that I've made the profile, we're gonna obviously post this recording.
Yep.
And
Hello,
then
future.
yay. Um I will probably put the link and then let people know like within the next 24 hours, go ahead and start leaving reviews and I'll go pick the review,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, exactly right.
make it fun as well. So, and then you could also probably with a highlight review, you could probably rotate them too. So it's
Yes, that's I recommend doing that to keep the page fresh.
okay. Um, let's see. I think that's it for making the profile. I definitely think like what I'm going to be doing for everybody that is like following along with having a public school community as a source of traffic is I am going to be finishing out this finishing this out to make it like really a lot nicer um as for my profile because I want to actually go through there. I don't want to just be like, okay, what am I doing? I want to go to it. So here's something for you, Matthew. When I'm on here, how would
Oh,
I
that's
get to
still okay. That's an old bug. I gotta fix that. You should just be able to click it, um, and go to the profile. On the menu, it will also let you view your profile if you click on that little 3 hamburger line there that you just clicked on. Thanks, Faith. Good to have you.
okay,
Yeah, but it should just be clickable. I thought I fixed that one too. This is good. I'm catching a few things that I wanna tweak.
nice. That's like you just gotta keep you gotta talk about your message and then you have to show people because it'll make you see
Yeah,
things. You're like, oh man, I
get the
almost forgot.
message out, show the people, fix the problems, get the message out, show the people. Yeah.
Yep. So and then another thing. So I'll probably come in here and like organize this more. But I will probably end up using it as soon as I get my YouTube postings going
Sweet.
because um, I don't know that I have the capacity at the moment to put time into like Twitter or Instagram uh, until I create a system for it because like systems
Mhm.
they'll make your life a lot simpler when you have a lot of things going on. But
Yep.
then I can go ahead and take the YouTube posts and use that with my posting in here.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
not sure how long, how many I'm going to be posting, but I would also guess when I'm talking about a like welcome to what is school, a free public school community, I'm going to come back in here, I'm going to edit it, and I'm going to add my link to ProveWorth. Um, I know that adding links are super important because this is and like I talked about it, I think in a different post already. Maybe it's a post I already made. But when I was first testing out how Google indexes your posts from the school community, it took me only 24 hours to be first page underneath the Forbes article because had
That's
made a
crazy.
post about the Forbes article and then linked back to the Forbes article.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, and so somebody else like, I had gotten a member within 24 hours because they had heard about that Forbes article on an Instagram post. The Instagram post did not link to it or anything. They just said, "Hey, in a recent Forbes article." So they went to Google. They tried to go search what the Forbes article was. They saw Forbes, and then they saw my school community right underneath.
Wow, that's insane.
Yeah.
That is
So
so cool.
I understand that like the linking is very important, and you don't have to be an SEO expert. You don't have to be an expert in the AI discoverability. Just when you recognize something that's working, do it. See how it works. Like you might as well start getting more content out there. Um,
Yeah, yeah, 100%.
because when it used to be like businesses that we would build 10 years ago and then we make a website, I'd be like, let's just hire an SEO expert because we don't want to stay up to date with everything, you know?
Mhm.
And I think nowadays it's going to be a lot easier when there's going to be places like, I don't know if you've thought about doing your public community yet, Matthew.
Yes, yes, I have, yeah.
Okay. But
I'm definitely gonna be doing it as soon as I get into marketing mode.
okay, 1 second.
You're all good. Yeah, in terms of AI ranking and how that's working, and paying attention to Google and SEO, I think that's tremendously huge, and something that I'm seeing a lot. So right now, I'll even check it just to see, but, AI tools and Google, if you combine all of them, let's see, they are crawling ProveWorth, anywhere between 200 to 400 times a day, which is kind of bananas. And Google said the Google tool is not the most reliable. Ironically, the most it's not the most reliable way of seeing traffic because Google tends to hide that for you for all sorts of different privacy reasons. Um, but ultimately, the strategy now that's kind of doing the best is the more content and the more links that you have out there that link back to you, and the more places that you have information about you on the internet, the better you will do. Like volume, um, both fortunately and unfortunately, at least right now, volume does seem to really outweigh uh, quality, I should say. Quantity does seem to outweigh quality right now. Obviously, you don't want to make something bad because if somebody sees it and it's not good and it's spammy and it's low effort, that doesn't reflect well on you. But if you do have something that is good enough and you post regularly and consistently, this is true for YouTube. This is definitely true for Instagram. Um, and so, given your time and capacity, that's one of the goals of ProofWorth is you could set it up, and once you have it set up, which could take you unless you really want to polish it up, you could set it up in 5 minutes and start getting reviews just by pasting the link. And that is another powerful mechanism that you have, which will allow you to get more exposure online. And let me also check. So right now, on average, we're getting about 50 human beings to the website every single day, which is nice. I think that's very cool. The goal is gonna get it more and get it higher. And let's see what Google is reporting to me at least, um, that we're getting about 3,000 impressions a month. And most of these, it doesn't tell me when people click on them, but I can see when people click on them. Um, if I do like extra digging, but for privacy reasons, they will show you that you appear, but they don't necessarily show you how many times people click, unless it's for your own domain, which they will be happy to give you your own data. But Google knows that that data is valuable, so it doesn't show it to everybody, unfortunately. Um,
Something I was gonna just jump in and say too is
yes,
that even if people are thinking that quantity is gonna help, eventually at some point you're gonna notice, especially if it comes down to like the AI discoverability, is that
mhm,
if your post like because there's some people that have free public communities and they're just posting garbage, right? So
yes,
that they
yes,
rank.
yep,
And um eventually AI is going to recognize that. And
It
I don't
will.
know if they'll make blacklisted places or if they won't. They're just not going to, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that
Yep.
for your long term, and you don't want to do that either even for school. I can't go into the school thing, but yeah, you just don't want to make garbage posts. You want to make
Exactly.
quality posts.
The more high quality things that meet your standards that you can make, though, is is at least what I am seeing is working the best right now.
Mhm.
And in the future, AI will catch up to Google because Google isn't gonna let you. The reason why Google allows school communities to rank so well is because imagine how many people have put their school link somewhere, right? So school has high, what's called domain authority. That's an unofficial metric, but it's something that a lot of people in the industry use. So yeah, Jenna, you're 100% correct. Uh, you want to put out something that you are proud of. Um, but the more things you could put out that you are proud of, the better you stand to be. And at least on Instagram, for example, um, they definitely want to pay attention to quality as well. But I have seen multiple examples of the more that you post, the better it is.
Mhm.
And some like I don't recommend this, but I've seen Instagrams that are posting hundreds of times a day, and they are growing hundreds of times faster because of it. Those people have a team, right? Like it's not just them.
Mhm.
But that's something to think about at least right now is that these algorithms and social media and online, they definitely reward that. But again, like you don't see me putting out hundreds of pieces of crap content because I don't want to do that. I want to put out as much good content as I can, that's high quality.
I'm going to explain something that I've been testing. And you know me, I treat everything like I'm a mad scientist for school. I'm going to
I love
figure it
it.
out. So part of this is like, if I'm going to do it one way, I'm going to have to put myself through the hardest way of doing it. So I made myself fully write this by myself. And this is a long post, okay?
Oh yeah.
And the one thing that I made sure to do, one, it's for tracking. Like, sometimes people like I had somebody join the community and they're like, "Ew, I don't want to be in an affiliate community." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And then I realized she meant because I'm putting my affiliate links in here. That's mostly for tracking actually to see where if people are clicking on things because right now we don't have all the traffic sources. Kind of like what we've talked about, Matthew, before is you
Yeah.
could even use your own affiliate link. Like if I was just putting people on the about page, um, for trying to get them to this community. If I was doing it with like ads, I would use maybe like I'd add my dad to school and make him have an affiliate link so that I could see how many are coming from Facebook, you know?
Yep. Yep. Exactly.
So, but what I did was when I'm putting more school links inside here, it's another because we were just talking about how you want to add links to your posts and stuff.
Yep.
Um, I also added the schoolers community rules in here. Like that was another way that I could add into it. But writing this entire thing to make sure that it was not only getting all the keywords that I want to show up for, I also wanted it to answer a lot of questions
Hmm.
because that's really helpful from what I've read as far as like AI discoverability and for people that are going to want to click it.
Yep.
And this post took me 4 hours to write. Now,
Yeah.
um, you do not need to spend 4 hours, but I did make myself painfully go through this so that I could explain this. When
You're
I
doing
do
the
this,
research.
yeah, when I do this call, we're doing it right now, right?
Hmm.
When I do this, I am going to take this recording and I'm going to get the transcript of it. And then I'm going to have it go into AI to write me several posts that I can post. Like, I'm not going to post them all back to back because that would be really boring for it to be the same information. But like in 2 months from now, I could call back to the post that we're putting this video in and talk about it. And I can put in the keywords. So even though this might take long if you're writing it all yourself, you can use things like videos. Like I'm going to come back to my videos in here and I'm going to grab the transcripts and I'm going to repost these again with the keywords that I want to show up with. I'm going to link the YouTube video and I'm also going to make sure it's still valuable and written in a conversational manner because like sometimes when you get people that just take the transcript and say write this for SEO and these are the keywords, you write something that nobody's ever going to want to read.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, people will not engage.
Mhm. And then we also had I had a good amount of people asking why, and I wanted to just show because I went and changed this to new. I had a good amount of people go, why was it 20 days before you ended up posting again in my community? Because some people are like, did you give up on your community? Did you let it die? Well, I actually, if you come down here, you'll see how many posts. I had 235 posts in here. There was over 1,000, and I deleted a lot of them. And what I did was I went through and I read them, and I was like, is this still in alignment with what my new like the community's focus is going to be? And did they share something personal, or is like the whole post full of mostly personal things?
Mm,
And I made myself go through that before I made it public. But I wouldn't want to have posted inside the community before it was public because for all of these posts can still get indexed. I was talking to the school team, and this is one like I'll put this in the post itself so you guys, if you
yeah, that's
weren't
good
here to watch
info.
it live and all of that, you'll be able to read it. And it is for these to index, they need to get hits, and the hits are based off of like people commenting on them.
Yep. I mean, that's similarly how to ProveWorth works, right? Is
Mhm.
as you get reviews, each time you get reviews, that's another instance that AI, Google search, right? Those things can all crawl and update that information.
Exactly. And so that's why just so you know, I don't know if he's going to claim it, but you have a if he can put me on school news, then I can put him on this, just saying.
There
Uh
you go.
with the Santa hats. He said pretty cool. So there
Yeah,
you go. Sam says it's pretty cool. We'll put that on the about page. Kind of like how I wanted to go onto mine and hold on, let's see if I can find it.
exactly.
Sam.
Yeah, Sam has been very supportive. I showed him the platform back in like July when it was basically just a blog. And he was still very nice when it was basically nothing. So grateful to Sam for taking the time.
Should I leave this on my proof worth page?
100% leave it on your ProveWorth page. Yeah, 100%.
It's funny.
Yeah.
Okay. So
There are a
that
couple questions in the.
let's see. Oh, it didn't. I'm still scrolled up. Sorry.
Oh, you're good. You're good. We'll jump back into that in a second. But Jennifer says, if groups are set to private, what would the strategy be? So I think that just goes back, Jennifer, to what we talked about, where if you have a private group, you want to try to be in as many places as possible in as many high quality ways as possible. Um, of which obviously I'm biased, right? But I do think ProveWorth is a high quality place to be with relatively low effort. Uh, but that includes social media, that includes a website, right? It's basically as much as you want to do. That is a mechanism for you to be able to use. Um, are you leading reviewer? This is what Todd says. Are you leading reviewers to focus on the detailed specifics of how you helped them rather than writing broad reviews? Yes. So this is something that I'm pretty much always working on, but um, Jenna showed it a little bit earlier. When you leave a review, right now it's more broad and focused. One of the things that I'm going to be adding in as well in the future is more context based off of the community. So it will prompt them based off of like, hey, talk about your experience with this community. Like that's version 1. And then version 2 would be, okay, it's a spirituality community, right? Talk about this, like it'll make recommendations for what people can talk about. A feature that's already live in the pro plans, or sorry, in the pro plans, is you can actually customize the review section. So if you wanted people to, let's say, talk about, let's say you're a beekeeper and you want them to specifically talk about your beekeeping strategies, you can actually add up to 3 questions into the review that can be displayed publicly. And then people can leave feedback and do it that way. But right now, it is kind of a catch-all, leave a review. And so what we recommend people do is that if you want them to talk about something specific, definitely ask them to do so. Um, for when people are doing that. And we're also working like another longer standing vision for the future will be that there will be like a way that you can upload a video, and that video could be prompted, right? So instead of just like click like record, it could be click, and here's a little line that says, talk about your beekeeping experience. And then you can, give some context that way. So when it comes to AI discoverability, I would definitely encourage people to be and Google discoverability. The more specific and detailed that the reviews are, the better. But the trick is that you would rather have a review that's maybe a sentence or two long versus a review that is, not existent, right? Um, but the dream is that people will use the before and after. So every community has the option to have a before and after as part of the review. I would definitely encourage people to say, hey, when you leave a review, talk about what it was like before, use the before and after section, and talk about what it was like after. Oh, is that
Am I
what you're
missing
seeing,
the
Jenna?
questions?
Yes.
Okay, because I've tried to like refresh it, and so I do not see.
It's all good. I've got you. Can
Um,
somebody put a chat in the chat window just real quick so we can see if Jenna's thing will refresh here? If anybody can
maybe
do that.
I type one.
Yep, Jennifer says K. So I see
I
that.
don't see a K, but you
Do
in
you see
mine.
your own?
I see my own, but I don't see the K. Okay. Anyways,
Jennifer says, "Hey."
I'm gonna take a screenshot of it and send it to the team in a little bit. Um, Somebody was asking about the private. Could you read that question to me?
Yes. So if groups are set to private, what would the strategy be? That's from
Okay.
Jennifer.
So I have two answers to this. One, make your about page as in depth and keywordy as it possibly can be. And put your ProveWorth link inside the thing. So now you have a link in there, right? Um, they are crawling about pages all the time, like all the time. It's a funny like AI is all over school looking at about pages, and
Oh yeah.
so that is how you can do it if you absolutely say that you only can have one community and it has to be private. Now, that is not the strategy that I am going to recommend to people. I am still going to be here to support people as long as I'm on here, with whatever way to do it, because I've worked with lots of different kinds of communities and businesses. But the best one that I believe I have found from all of my mad scientist experimenting is going to be you're going to have one free public community, and it is used solely for the Google indexing and the AI discoverability. This is where you get to put all the writing. Like people, when they come to school, they have the temptation to treat it like other places out there, like LinkedIn, and they want to write so much and they want to share all this teaching and how knowledgeable they are and stuff. That doesn't work very well in a community. That's not going to bring engagement. In fact, that probably should be left in a classroom kind of setting. But you can do that on your free public. Now, if you don't have the funds to have a pro community for your free public, which to me, I just my head separates that as like that's marketing money. That's what I'm paying for marketing is having a free public. And in fact, I think like for $99, it's probably one of the cheapest ways to get SEO and all of that. And the only reason
100%.
yeah, the only reason why I would say that you want to have a pro is so that you're collecting the data. And here's what I mean by that. I'm going to pull this up real quick. Um, when you are on a pro plan, you're able to have the metapixel tracking. Now, not everybody's going to feel comfortable doing ads, or they're not going to want to. They're going to be like, I hate ads. In fact, I, with my clients, used to say, there's no way that we are doing ads until you hit seven figures. Yeah, seven figures. You have to hit $1 million before we'll run ads. And that is in the old time, like when ads were way different. It's so much easier now. It's so much easier and so much more affordable. But I wanted them to not have to have that on their plate. I didn't want them to think that they couldn't hire an ad expert to do it, all of that stuff. Now that it's a lot easier and you can learn from people like Evelyn, you should like if you can afford the pro plan, then you need to put your metapixel in there immediately. Because you don't have to have your and it depends on like where you're at because we're thinking about for the pro plan you have a higher percentage if it's paid, right?
Mhm.
So I would say that if you're starting off and you're planning to run ads and you're planning to be pretty successful quickly, make your free public community the pro and make your private the hobby for just the beginning, because at least you're getting the data and you can run ads to your paid based off of this pixel that's on your free. So that's some information on there, but I think my strategy would be that you would have two communities. And if you're not going to have two communities, then go ahead and put as much as you can in your description and in your about page description. Does that cover the answer for right now? I'm going to make a whole post on that, but
Yeah, yeah, I think that's excellent, and I think that's a fantastic answer.
okay.
One of the other questions that Jennifer posted that I think was also great was, being, the his question is essentially like, should I post a link? Should I post outside links on my about page? With the kind of concern, the reasonable concern that people have, which is like, I don't want to take them off of the page
Mhm.
itself. So if you want to keep people locked into the page and not click anywhere else or have the option to click anywhere else, what would you recommend?
So I'm going to, again, my answer always is depends. So if you're doing the two communities, you have your free public one. That's where it would have the like go check out ProveWorth, and I would put that in the about page. Um, and then if you have your second one, that's the private one, I would not put any reviews on there because I wouldn't put any links because I need them to make the one clear decision to join the paid community or the private community. If you're only going to have one community and it is private, then put your ProveWorth on there because of the link.
Mm,
So that's how I would feel like on my free public one, I'm going to put whatever I want in there. And I'm not so concerned on the conversion of it. Like, because it's there, they've already found me somewhere. They can come back to it. When it is my private one, I'm normally when I'm thinking of like a private community is I'm going to have it as paid. Even if it's like low ticket and I'm doing tiers, but I want clarity and I want it to be like the last thing that you see is go ahead and join. Now, there is one little side note on that. Let me pull this over real quick. Pull up my settings, come over to my plugins, and I'm going to come back over here with this. Okay. So, what I would do if I have the two communities is I would come down to my links, and on my links, this is where I would put my proof worth. on the private one.
On the sidebar.
Yeah. Because and then you can also choose when you're editing it, is it public for everybody or is it only for members? And I would put it public for everybody. I would do this on both, on your free public and your private, and I'd probably still put it on the free public's about description, which I can go do, but the characters and stuff, I want to figure that out first.
Yep.
But yeah, that's what I would do, is I would only put it if you're gonna on a private one, if you're only gonna have one.
Yeah. What I've seen as well, for the folks that are, and I mentioned this in the chat, but for the folks that don't want to have anybody leave their page, you just have the ProveWorth profile kind of exist on its own, and then hopefully it will be discovered eventually by AI search and by Google search. The more links that you have to it, the more links that ProveWorth itself gets. That's how those kind of things get there and get stronger. But you could also have that, like Jenna said there, and it can just be private, so it can only be accessible by people that are inside the community already. And that could just be like a request to review the community versus a link to the public profile. So you can kind of alternate it that way. And then I've also seen people who they just screenshot the stuff they like, they put that on the about page. And that's kind of the traditional way to do it. The one thing that Jenna made a point of that I think is a good consideration here is that while AI can absolutely read and Google can absolutely read images, they often choose not to. So it is important, like Jenna said, to have as honed in and keyword rich while not overstuffing it or being crazy of an about page as you can.
Yeah, and one little fun trick that I actually got from Eric. So um let me see if I can find it. I think I put it on this one. I gotta give him credit, you know.
Oh yeah, is this the traffic master?
Yes.
Yeah,
Dude, he's brilliant. He's really smart when it comes to traffic. Um
love it. Can't wait to talk to him.
he put this on his page. Click join group. It's free. You know?
Hey, there you go.
Exactly. And he's about to make it public. This is going to be his free community that's public. So as soon as he lets everybody in, um that's what they'll see. Is like people are going to see his video and then they're going to see this click join group. It's free.
Love it.
Because why not? And so AI is probably not going to read all of this, but it will read this, and it's going to be reading all of his community posts because obviously he's going to have it as public. But this is just so helpful. Like people need direction sometimes. They need to be told, "Hey, do this." And it helps with that decision making in the moment. And so that's what I ended up doing with mine is I put click join group. It's free. Just
Beautiful.
make it fun and creative.
Beautiful.
One of the things that I did want to mention, especially because like I cannot give all of his sauce away for free. But as he is making his community available, one of the things that Eric's going to have me doing is we're going to have our podcast, right? And we'll be posting our podcast inside the public community. But I'm also in the podcast notes, I'm going to send people to ProveWorth to go check out my reviews, because it's going to be just like in a YouTube video, how you can, let's see, where here I am talking about stop obsessing with your avatar with William. Just in here, you can just put more links in here, and I would put join my community here, and right underneath it, I would say like, check out my reviews on ProveWorth, and then I'd use my short ProveWorth link right here. So
Do love
then
to
I
hear
would
that.
yeah. And then I would take this link and then I would make my post inside What is School. And then I'd put my more ProveWorth one there, so that we're kind of like stacking the links so people can go look at them if they want. And what he is going to be having me do, Eric, because I'm going to have him treat me like one of his high ticket clients, is go on other podcasts. Like he's going to book me on other podcasts. So what am I going to do?
Nice.
I'm going to give him 2 links to put with my stuff. I'm going to give him my link to my free community where they can download like a freebie that I'm making. And I'm going to send them also to my ProveWorth one so they can go see all my stuff. So we're getting more hits to both of them. And I know it's like you're the ProveWorth guy, and I'm like, but I also want my ProveWorth profile to show up high when it comes down to browse communities. So I'm going to get more hits that way, you know.
Yeah.
And then on top of that is I haven't told anybody. Should I tell people what I'm doing?
For the people that stuck it out, maybe they deserve it.
All right. For the people that stuck it out for being in here on call and listen to this recording that's this long,
Yeah.
I have a book coming out about online communities. And I'm going to probably put not only I'm going to put QR codes in there that go to my community, but I'm going to send them to my ProveWorth one too. And because it's my book that I'm writing, and this is what I've written books, but they've been underneath other people's names, as a ghostwriter and stuff for my clients. I know that there's different ways that you can really help your business grow with a book. And part of that is linked with what Eric's going to be teaching is like using your book when you're on a podcast as a guest. And then I'm going to be using in the back, when people are trying to read, they usually go to the back or they go to the front. I can put a couple of if I get some really good reviews on ProveWorth, I'm just going to screenshot that, do it nice in Canva, and put
Yeah.
it in the back with the QR code of go check out the rest of the reviews. And that's going to live forever in those books. So it's just an entire way of leveraging your time. And then everything that I wrote in the book, obviously they're going to become posts, portions of posts within here, because it's not that I'm trying to make money from a book. It's because the book is a lead magnet.
Exactly.
Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, I can't deny I love the strategy. And as much, the game is really all around authority and trust, right? Like, how do you establish authority, and then how do you have somebody to trust that you are an authority? And you're talking about all the right mechanisms, and I'm proud and glad to hear that ProveWorth is a piece of that puzzle. That's the dream.
And this is something I know that I talk to people that are either community owners themselves or they're helping communities.
Mm-hmm.
And as a person that helps communities, I want to state again, this is what I used to do with other clients that I had. So if we're trying to establish their credibility, if we're trying to get them more traffic, more leads, more all of that, I can go in and to any community, I could go into Schoolers and write a whole book based off of what I've noticed and witnessed about Sam and write it in his voice. And then Sam could have a book. Sam wouldn't do it that way, but
Yeah.
there's things that you can do for your clients where then you're starting to make way more money, because you're observant enough and you're finding the needs, you're fulfilling it. Because I don't know, there's a easy way to make a book that's a lead magnet book. And then there's crappy ways that people make books where it's just AI that wrote it for them and you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
It's I've seen some big names use AI to write a book, and it makes me immediately go, I'm not gonna choose to learn from you via this way,
Yep. Exactly
But
right.
anyways, I know this has gone on a long time. Was there more that you wanted to share about what you've learned with the AI and how many hits you've been getting and everything?
Yeah, absolutely. I do have to run here in a second, so maybe if you're, I don't wanna pre-book myself, but maybe we can tease another one of these or something like that where we could talk more intentionally about that. Because I've got a lot of stuff. Got a lot of stuff that I've been learning. Just to give a sneak peek and like a highlight of it. Um, when it comes to writing content in your public school community, one of the absolute best things that you could be doing right now is to write, like, let's say, your like we had somebody just sign up on ProveWorth that is ladies of mycology, right? Shout out ladies of mycology. I think that might be they might be here on the call. So if you're talking about groups for learning how to cultivate mushrooms, you can recommend 5 groups, right? Or 5 ways to learn about mushrooms. But you recommend yourself, and you're not shy about it, as the best one. Studies have shown right now, and there's been a bunch of studies with over like 25,000 different links analyzed, and I think over 100,000 searches that have been done, that show that that is like a absolute foolproof content plan right now for helping you get discovered and rank quicker. So if you actually go through the process of saying, here are the 5 best communities on, mycology and plant growth cultivation, and here's why I'm number one. That's actually something that all the different tools and mechanisms love. So that plus more, we could definitely talk about in our next session.
That would be a lot of fun because I know a lot of people have talked about, like, over the years when you're searching, like, okay, well, what's the best software for this, or and they're
Hmm.
like, well, you Google it and it sends you to, like, what are the 5 best softwares for remote viewing? And so you're reading it on a remote viewing software, and it talks about several different ones, but they recommend their own. So that
Yep,
makes sense.
exactly right.
That's pretty cool. That would be a very interesting thing to try out on our own communities. I had one question for you, and we can definitely book that. Um, let's say I have my proof worth community, and I'm like, I think I did a good job. I think it looks good.
Mhm.
I'd like to get other people's opinions on if there's anything missing or if there's anything I can do better. Can I post that in Proofworth and just be like, "Hey, I just finished um
Oh yeah.
my
Yeah, the
thing."
whole point of that is leveraging community intelligence. So, if you wanna think about strategy, if you wanna think about copy, if you wanna think about anything when it comes to collecting social proof and building out a customer journey, please, I would be thrilled to pin that post, and help people, help each other.
Sorry, Dominic likes the kachings.
Hey, nothing wrong with a good ka-ching.
We can do the kachings after this call, okay? So, yeah, I think that would be awesome. I'll get with you on when it would be a good time for that.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. You know me, I'm always down to chat with Jenna, the legend.
thank you. I appreciate it. And if you guys are not in Proofworth, go ahead and just join. It's free. I don't have any problem saying, "Hey, join these communities" because they're free. And same with Traffic Lounge because there's so many people that need, like, that whole myth. If you build it, they will come. AI might come looking for one or a
But it's not
couple.
always gonna recommend you. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't mean it's gonna recommend you. So
Yep, 100%.
put yourself out there and get some traffic and talk about what you're doing. But
Amazing.
all right, thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate everybody that came, and then the ones that stuck through the whole thing. Thank you for gracing us with your presence, and time is such a valuable thing, so I'm really grateful that you guys chose to be here.
Thanks, everybody. Really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to the next chat, Jenna.
Me too. Bye.
Bye, everybody. Have a good one.